Hello, welcome to Brimwood Farm and another farm vlog. It is a beautiful blue sky above me. It's quite cold, as you can probably tell from the amount of clothing I'm wearing, but we're going to do some pond restoration work and we're going to take a trip around the farm to visit some of those projects. So as many of you know, as well as the little urban homestead that I normally video from, I also have this farmland, which is about 40 acres of rural agricultural land up in Suffolk, and it's the dream to come up and live here one day. But at the moment I'm just travelling up here. Today is just a one-off. I've driven up this morning. It's about 2 hours away from home, and then I'll drive back this evening just to come and do some work. So we're going to start with the pond restoration. Now I started this a little while ago, and today is going to be about clearing all of this bramble thicket. Before we cut all of this wood out, and this here was all dug across. It was all trees, and so we came in with a chainsawed a lot of all of this wood down, and I'm going to collect a lot of this wood as well to take home. But actually now things have died off. You can see more of the pond. So obviously this tree is all in the pond. So the pond starts here. Here is the bramble thicket we're going to start to clear today. And if I have time, I'll also start to chainsaw out this tree. And then it goes all the way back there. So it's quite a large undertaking, but you can probably see it a little bit more now, the size of it, now that all the leaves have died off. And you can also see what a state it is in. There are no plants in here. You can see just down here, all there is a tiny little bit of duckweed. Look, there is nothing else oxygenating in this water. So this is basically a dead pond. It might be a water source for local animals, and there is a coot nest just here. You can just see it. There's a little coot nest. There obviously is, it's a coot or a moorhen nest. So there's obviously some stuff up here, but in terms of having this as a thriving pond with tadpoles and dragonfly larvae and all that sort of thing, it's completely dead. It's just dead as a dodo because there is not enough oxygen in it. So the whole point of this pond restoration project is to clear out a lot of the bushes around the front, let light in. This will be tackled later, but the first bit I'm going to do is tackle this front bit, and I'm going to start introducing oxygenating plants. I'm going to dredge out some of the sludge in there, and we're going to be planting some ornamentals and some wild native plants around the edges as well to try and get this pond thriving again. So that's the first job I'm going to do today. Here is my hour's check-in. Here is our bramble hedge, and I'm realising this project is going to take a lot longer than I ever thought, because this is an hour's work. And you can see I really have barely scratched the surface. And I thought this hedge was about 1 metre thick, this bramble, but I am probably 1 metre in already. And look what I am dealing with. I can't even see the edge of the pond. It's somewhere through there. So I'm going to keep going, but I'm realising that this is not going to be a one winter job, because, you know, I only get up here probably once a month. So during the winter that's 4 days, and winter days as well that are short, and I'm one man. I think what I need to do is organise some work parties next year, because there is no way I'm going to get all of this cleared. I'm going to just walk backwards so you can see just to the extent of what I'm dealing with. So this entire blackberry hedge around here is all the front of the pond, and it is massive. So yeah, I'm going to just not try and think about how much there is to do, and I'm just going to try and get through. I would like to try and break through the hedge, and maybe if I start in this hole and maybe try and get everything that side brought out a little bit, I would like to find the pond. So for now, as it's now midday, I'm going to keep going because I've probably only got 3 hours left. So we're just back at the house site. My tenant farmer is having his shorthorn cattle in here again. So I've just been chatting to him. He's got some bales in there ready to put across the floor. So he'll have his pregnant heifers and probably a bull in there. And then in the spring they'll have their calves again. He planted up this field. This is the only field he actually uses at the moment. This has turnips in it. And they've come up well actually. It's been a good crop this year. And then where can we see? There, where that little blue dot is where the white buddleia walkway will be into the wildflower meadow. So we'll go over there and just have a look and see how that's doing. It won't have changed very much at all. There's a huge manure heap up here he's been building for us. And I've just realised that he probably has smothered the mullein plants that I found last time. So wild mullein. Let's just have a look whether any have survived. I think. Oh look, partridges. Off they go. Lovely. So I think he's probably smothered them, sadly. Oh no, there is one. There's one in here. So this is a mullein, and there were a lot more. But even one is good because hopefully it will come up here with seed. So this is the patch where we normally camp, and you've seen me time and time again scything back this bit. What I'm actually going to do this winter is I've got a load of old carpet and some old curtains. Excuse me. And I'm going to just lie them down and smother this. Obviously it's not the best thing to do because obviously carpet and curtains are biodegradable and they've got synthetic fabrics and things in them, so they will of course rot down into the ground. But we're not going to be growing any crops here at all. Once this is fenced around the perimeter, it's just going to be a grass area, just to, you know, have animals on now and then, camp, etc, etc. And then this will be where we're walking into the nuttery. So as you can see, I'm clearing those brambles up at the pond, but there is a mountain of brambles here as well, because this is exactly where I want to put the nuttery, on the other side. So this this line of brambles here is going to be actually a another buddleia grove, but this time with the mauve colour. I mean, probably just where that is going to be a circle of willow crafted and grown into a dome. I'm very happy to say that my Patreon, I do run a Patreon, and my first patron is Jay from Hilltop Farm Homestead, and with some of the money that has been donated so far, I'll be using that to buy some nut trees. I was going to tackle this project this winter, but as you can see, and I've said this 1,000 times before, whenever I get up here, it always seems to be far more work than I actually imagined. So what I'm probably going to do is buy the nut trees and have them in pots for a couple of years just to get them established. And then once this is done, probably sometime next year this will get cleared, then I can put them in. But for now, I'm going to go into the old caravan and get an old rake that I've been storing in there, and then I'll be up back at the pond to finish off some more jobs. Right, actually, before I go back, we might as well go into the wildflower meadow. I am just whispering because, in case there are any deer or wildlife there, I don't want to scare them away. I haven't got the dogs with me this week, which is a plus, because otherwise they'd be straight into that forest and they'd be straight into the meadow and scare everything away. Oh, there's a little bird, don't know what that was. I think it might have been a wren. Now because I'm filming this, there'll probably be nothing. Oh look, what's that? There's a couple of pheasants, hen pheasants flying over there. So there'll probably be nothing in here, seeing as I'm actually filming it, but let's just have a look. Fingers crossed. Is there anything to see? Doesn't look like it. No, it all looks fairly quiet. It is the middle of the day, so I wouldn't have expected any deer, to be honest. But this is the wildflower meadow, and as you can see, it's been topped by the farmer, so it's all very low now. But then next year it will look lovely. This is our neighbouring wood, and this is the wood that we want to extend onto our land. And we've actually got a pair of buzzards nesting in that wood. They actually nest over in these pine trees. They've probably chased their baby off now. So yeah, there's not a vast amount to see here, but it is working. After, you know, it's a couple of years old now, and gradually it's spreading across, and the wildflowers are seeding themselves across into the field. So it's worked quite well, just having this one strip down here, and then every year it seeds itself and it grows a little bit more. And then this, where I'm standing, is going to be a buddleia grove. So we're going to have white buddleias kind of framing this entrance to the field all around here. So you walk through the white buddleias and into the wildflower meadow field. And then I bought my magnolia grandiflora, and that will go around here and be a central tree with a seat underneath. And then through the wildflower meadow are actually cut paths, so you can kind of walk through and go to the tree. And then the tree, I also am thinking, is going to be where we bury our pets. Obviously we can't bury any livestock, but cats, dogs, they can go to rest under that tree. Right, there isn't a vast amount to see. It's such a beautiful day. So I'm going to walk up to the back to the pond and show you what I've done so far. I'm on a bit of a wildlife discovery mission on the way back to the pond, and look, I found some poo. So there's a nice piece of poo here, and there's another chunk here. Now this looks like it's fox or possibly badger, so I'm going to look that up. Fox tends to be a bit more splatty. So yeah, I'll have to look that up when I get back home. Is there any more along here? No. Have a look. I'll just show you the turnips while I'm here. Look at these good old turnips. So these aren't going to be edible turnips for us. These are going to be winter feed turnips for sheep and cattle. Right, let's go to the pond. And yes, I've stopped again. Why? Because look, we've got deer prints. So we've got one there, and then a couple more there. They're very close together. I would think this is probably a little muntjac deer, because you can see, if I put my foot down, you can see how close together those are. But that's great as well, but so it actually shows that the deer are coming closer into the farm than I'd thought before. So I might not have seen any wildlife today, but there's lots of signs of it. Well, I know. Here we are, and it doesn't look like I've done a vast amount, because you can see all of that bramble there, but I have made a bit of an indent after about, 2.5, 3 hours work, and you can see obviously how much I need to do. But I've got through, and I have finally cut my way through the thickness of the thicket. So where I thought it was literally about a metre thick, you can see here just how deep it is. It's probably 4 or 5 metres. However, I have discovered the edge of the pond. So this is the edge of the pond here. I'm going to take out this tree. This is a hawthorn. I'm actually going to leave it, but I am going to kind of cloud prune it a little bit when I've cleared this out. So I'm going to take off all the bottom branches and just take it up so there's a bit of a canopy, but it doesn't sort of impact the ground too much. My next job is I'm going to just pull all of this away, rake this all away into the heap over there, and just clear this up, and probably chainsaw some of this tree as well, just so that I could open this whole area out. So it's about 3:30, the sun is starting to set, the fields look glorious, as you can see, and I've done quite a bit of work here. I was a bit disheartened when I came up and I realised that I just couldn't get it all done, and I started the day off in a bit of a melancholy, not upset, but just thoughtful down mode, and there's nothing like coming to the farm just to cheer me up. So thank you for coming along for the vlog. I will show you what I've done with the pond. So this is the thicket. 1 metre is about that, so you can see actually it was far wider than I thought. So I have made a big, oh, that was a tree. So I have this is the bramble that obviously I wanted to clear away, but I've managed to cut through here. And I've chainsawed some more of the dead trees and cut some and pulled it out of the water and things. And this, as I said, this hawthorn, I'm going to leave this one hawthorn there. I'll tidy it up in the future in terms of probably having just a couple of stems, taking off this back stem. And leaving it as a bit of a canopy. But we're getting there, slowly. This section I'll probably turn into a bog garden, because you see the water level is over there. We haven't had a vast amount of water this year, but the actual pond edge is here. So what I'll do is I'll probably clean this out, or dredge it out a bit, scrape some of all these dead leaves so the water level does come across a bit, and then we'll plant probably some more sort of bog loving plants on the edge, and then filter into water loving plants. And so that is the vlog for today. I'm going to call it quits because I'm quite tired, and we don't need me falling over any more. Oh, there's a rainbow. We don't need me falling over any more logs. It's a very faint rainbow over there. I don't know whether you can see it. No, you can't really pick it out. It's so faint, it's up here. How bizarre. And there does look like there is some wet weather coming. So I will see you next time for another vlog. Thank you again for coming along for the ride. If you've liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes, and I'll see you soon. Bye.